In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Peace and blessings, mob family. Welcome to another brainstorming session where we pretty much come together, share knowledge, drop gems, talk about real life strategy, and pretty much for the most part connect. That's what the mob is all about. If you've pretty much been a part of our community, you already know, we're all about connecting with different entrepreneurs and really just bringing powerful people together to figure out, how we can continue on pushing our economy. It's all about economic growth. And at the end of the day, man, we're just trying to create more jobs, create generational wealth, right? We all can use some generational wealth, right? So, hey, if you tapped in with us live, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Also, make sure you guys post your website, social medias. Never know who might tap in, who might want to actually check out your website. Again, it's all about connecting you guys. So I really want to make sure you guys are put in a position to really reach your maximum potential and connect with some good people. It's all about connecting with like-minded individuals. Today, speaking of like-minded individuals, we got another special guest for you guys. We love to bring people that's actually out here, moving and shaking. And people, so we can really bring that real life experience. We don't really want to talk on something that we're about to do or what we think. We really want. We want you guys to hear from people that's actually out here putting boots to the ground. So, hey, just in a minute, we're going to bring our special guests up. Meanwhile, make sure you guys check out www.masteringOurbusiness.com. We have a lot of great updates, a lot of great resources for you guys. As you can see, we have, of course, our mission statement. So if you're new to our community, you can actually go in there. We got a lot of information, detailing key features, what we're all about, and some of our goals, and of course, how you can actually benefit from our program as well and from our community, of course, whether it's, business funding, business plans and strategy, AI automation, whether you need help with advertising and marketing, whether you need help with juggling your social medias. We have a great social media management team. Or whether you just want to brand out, get you some custom merchandise, or if you need video and audio team, a photography team, or if you just need a website or graphic design team, whether you have a website already, you just want to revamp it, or if you're just starting from scratch and just need a brand new site, we're always there to help you guys out with those resources. Shout out to all of our members that's actually a part of our membership program, which we pretty much, if you remember, you pretty much already know about our 12 modules, and these are all of the modules. These are all of the elements that you need to actually start, run, and scale a business, you guys. So make sure you guys check out some of our modules if you actually curious on what we actually touch on within our community. We actually have we also have our diverse programming on there, so just so you can kind of check out some of the events and activities we actually participate in. You can actually tap on that tab to actually go and check out some of the events that we have coming up as well. Of course, we have some testimonials. Go check out some of the, some of our members and what they have to say about the community, some of the great things that they have going on. And also, definitely check out Mob TV. We have some great content on there, from exclusive interviews, from commercials that we produce and shot for other companies, and of course our recaps to our brainstorming sessions. If you actually want to go back and check out some of the guests that we've had on here, and some of the jewels that was dropped, definitely check out our Mob TV channel. It's pretty much a Netflix for business owners. We really wanted to bring you guys something that's going to actually benefit you guys and actually entertain you guys at the same time. Like I said, we got some dope stories on there from different entrepreneurs from all over the world. So definitely check that out. And if you don't do anything else, make sure you guys check out our resource center as well. We have everything from ebooks on there, just like our business credit ain't scary ebook. We have resources as far as if you need, to pretty much get your credit together, your personal, your business credit. If you're looking for some grants, Also, if you're looking for unconventional funding, so make sure you guys check out our resource center. Hey, we can all use some more resources. So that's probably the most powerful section on our website. So this year we're actually going to be adding and updating a lot more. If you know us, we love updates. We're always keeping our website updated for you guys. Also, check out the Friends of the Mob program. This is actually a newer program that we have for our donors. The last couple of years, we've been having a lot of people who may not have a business, who may not have a project that they're working on, but they still want to support the movement. And this program is super important because it's actually going to help us, create more programs and just stay, within, just stay progressing for you guys and making sure that, we have, more support for our community at the end of the day. So make sure you guys check out the Friend of the Mob program and become a friend of the mob at the end of the day. Also, make sure you guys check out our sponsored members and affiliates. Check out some of the brands that we've been working with over the years. Check out some of their websites and some of the dope things that they've been going on. We love bragging on our people, you guys. So if you actually want to become an affiliate, definitely look into our affiliate program. If you're somebody that loves spreading knowledge, love bringing people on board, love helping people get more resources, this is a program for you. It's all about word of mouth, bringing more people, bringing more awareness on our community that we have, and it's super important for us to band together. Really, all of our members who that we have so far is based off of word of mouth, and it's super important. It's super powerful, and it's all about helping somebody else get a leg up in the game at the end of the day. But while you're doing that, you can also earn some extra revenue. So it's nothing like helping somebody else and earning a couple of extra dollars while you're doing that. So definitely check out our affiliate program. We have a lot of updates for you guys. Here's some of the latest updates that we have as well. As far as, of course, we're always updating our brainstorming sessions. We're always having new sessions. We're always uploading new sessions as well. So make sure you guys subscribe as well, so you can get those updates and get those notifications when we do upload a new brainstorming session. Also, we have a section where you can actually, if you're somebody that need to update your content, we're actually going to be hosting more content days this year as well, so you can go ahead and secure your spot. And if you just want to support the community, we also have our virtual marketplace where you can actually go and get some merch. We're always having some updated merchandise for you guys. Actually, I'm gonna actually click on that so you can actually check out some of the merch that we have so far. And as you know, it's all about entrepreneurship. So most of our merch is based around entrepreneurship. As you can see, we have the CEO Energy, Millionaire Mindset Truckers. We have the Self-Funded, Self-Made, the Legacy over Luxury, and so forth and so forth. So we got everything from truckers to T-shirts to even baby clothes, as you can see. So definitely check out our website. We got a bunch of goodies on there for you guys, and that's what it's all about, man. Making sure that you guys are up to date, and make sure you guys have everything that you need to continue on being great at the end of the day. We want to motivate you guys, continue on motivating you, whether it's through our content, whether it's through our merchandise, or whatever. So definitely be on the lookout for more programs. I'm excited to bring forth. We're actually working on getting our STEAM program for the youth off the ground this year. So I'm super excited about that. And so hey, if you have any resources or just extra ideas that you want to throw our way, feel free to contact us immediately. We definitely feel free. We definitely want to bring all hands on deck. That's what it's all about. So again, last but not least, hey, if you tapped in with us, make sure you guys drop your websites, post your social medias. Again, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Please. You just never know how you can actually help somebody with this information. It might be somebody who just needs a small confirmation to take those big leaps. But I don't want to hold you guys up too much longer. I want to bring up our special guest. And for the most part, I love to have different guests from all different types of backgrounds, because I love how the confirmations just come back. It's one thing to hear from me. I know you guys always hear these different topics, and especially if following us on social media, this is all we talk about is generational wealth, economic growth, entrepreneurship. We're always dropping different gems, but it's always good to hear from somebody else. So, hey, I have another special guest for you guys. Here's Markabo. What's going on, Queen? What's going on? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Yep, I can't. For some reason, I can't hear you. Try logging out and logging back in real quick. Let's see if that works. That's how you know we about to have a good session right there. That's a good sign. When things start messing up, when we have technical difficulties, that's how you know we're gonna have a good session, man. So yeah, go ahead and yeah, let's see if that works. Meanwhile, while we waiting on her to top in, again, make sure you guys drop your websites, post your social medias, and I always like to tell you guys also post, what problems are you solving in the community with your business, or post what challenges do you plan on overcoming this year, for sure. All right, Queen. All right, Queen. What's going on? What's going on? I was just hearing you. I don't know what happened. That's weird. Hmm. You're not receiving any phone calls or anything like that. There we go. There we go. Can you hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There we go. There we go. So for
Love
those,
it.
man, for those that's under a rock, let the people know who you are, what it is that you do.
Yes. So my name is Markabo Ibrahim, but a lot of people know me as Marky. That's my nickname. I'm an executive assistant and a travel agent. I actually became a travel agent because one of my clients got me into to just to become a travel agent. So now I carry that as one of my services for my EA business. So if you need to travel for all my executives or clients, if they need to be traveling, then I'll book their travel in a secure manner. Um, yeah, so like some of the services that I provide for my EA business is I do admin, I do you name it, anything that's like administration or even like personal. For instance, like if one of the executives is like, oh, I need you to book my doctor's appointment, or I need you to handle this task for me, whether it's personal or admin related, I pretty much take care of it. I currently just created a booking site for a salon owner. So I pretty much have clientele from all across the different industries. And it's just my passion because I was an EA for nonprofit and also a EA for corporate as well, booking like corporate travel for doctors, surgeons, and all that kind of gist. So I'm starting off with my EA business. It is not even 2 months old yet, so it's pretty new. But it's like opportunities like this that really do help me to grow. So I'm very glad that we connected on LinkedIn. And if anyone wants to connect with me, it's the name that's right there. It's Markabo Ibrahim, and it's on LinkedIn as well. And you'll see independent executive assistant. And then the travel agent, I literally just got it last night.
Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when people are just, going for their goals and they, accomplishing them, whether it's brand new or not, you doing it. There's some people that still, contemplating on, making a move, and they've been contemplating for years and never get a chance to do it. So I love that you just took that step. You took that step for sure. So, I know you just started, but I know you've been really active. What excites you most about what it is that you do?
I think it's I want to have multiple clients. So it's just like, for me, it's just like number one, I want to help. I mean, if I could apply, like, I could apply to a corporate to become an EA for a corporate company, right? But I want to help the solo entrepreneurs who need assistance, who don't even know that an executive assistant exists. There's a lot of people who actually don't know what an EA does. That's why I created info sheets. Um, I have info sheets I could share with you. I created some marketing strategies as well. One of my marketing strategies is like I have a menu for you, and I say, "What can I take off your plate?" And I literally write everything down that I can possibly take off your plate as a solo entrepreneur. Whether you need, sometimes we don't want to book our own flights, we don't want to book our own hotels, all that stuff, cruises, all that. We just don't want to do it. Exactly. So if you need any thing booked with the best prices, then you just reach out to me. I book you on a secure business site, which is always helpful. That's why I added it to my business model. So it's just growth and just helping those solo entrepreneurs and just the owners, founders, etc. Just anyone who owns a business, busy schedule, all that stuff. It's a passion of mine to help them, 100%.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I know you. I notice you always talk about passion. You
Yeah.
spoke on it a lot, and I think that's super important. Another thing you spoke on is the marketing aspect. And I want to touch on that real quick. With all the noise online, what's one marketing tactic you feel is still underrated that works?
Under, I think not being salesy for sure. I think kind of marketing yourself in a way that's like, our attention span nowadays is just so bad for all of us. Like, that's why TikTok was created. Attention span is like 3 seconds, right? You want to skip to the next video. We're in that kind of time frame. I think the most important thing is making it nice, sweet, and attention grabbing for whatever you're writing. Don't waste like people's time. No one wants to read like a whole essay of like, here's what I do. No one is gonna read it, and I know that. So for me, I just make it short, sweet. I market myself in a way that's like when they open it, they're like, oh, okay. So I got some good feedback on that, which I really do appreciate. So yeah, so for me, I'm just 100% for the marketing aspect. Is I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I'm just trying to do my own thing and also use a little humor in it as well. On my LinkedIn, I add a little humor on my posts. If you guys look at my posts, I do add humor because that's me. So it's just like I'm not going to stop who I am just because I'm in a professional platform. As long as I'm not being inappropriate, which I never am, then it's like I can show myself and who I am. I don't have to like dim myself for anybody.
I totally agree. I'm a big advocate on being, I always tell our clients and our members, you want to be as vulnerable as possible. People want to know who you are. Figure out different ways to tell your story. You don't have to tell your, and I think that's the most beautiful thing about social media. You can tell your story in so many different ways, and get creative on telling your story. And you can always find somebody that can relate to you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't. I think we're in the best time to be an entrepreneur because we're no longer stuck within and confined within those constraints. The average entrepreneur doesn't look the same. Sometimes I know people that most of the time, most of the entrepreneurs I know spend most of their days in sweatpants and jogging suits, right? Where back in the day, all you seen was suit and tie and a certain demographic. Now it's a way to really tap in and touch your target audience and really build a different type of audience. So speaking of that, speaking of audience, let's talk on branding. This is one of our modules. This is something that's super important. That I feel is super important, especially for small businesses. What is the most common branding mistake you see entrepreneurs make, and what do you think is a better approach? You muted again. Nope, nope. Still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. I don't know why it's doing that because it don't say you're muted. And if you tapped in while we get this audio together, if you tapped in with us live, make sure you guys drop your websites, your social media platforms, and definitely like, subscribe, and share this video, especially more likely to somebody else that is a game changer. If you know any other entrepreneurs that would love this information and that would love to tap in, chime in. If you have any questions or concerns, definitely drop them in the comments as well. I don't know what's going on with the sound. It's still, nope, I still can't hear you. Yeah, go ahead and leave out and come back in real quick. So yeah, again, if you guys are tapped in with us, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Share it with one of your fellow entrepreneurs. Share it with somebody that even if they're not an entrepreneur yet, if they are thinking about starting a new business, this is definitely. Let's
Can
go.
you hear?
Yes. We back. So real quick, I'm gonna repeat the question for you. I really want to touch on branding. Right, this is one of our modules that we touch on a lot. One of the early modules that we touch on with our members. What is the most common branding mistake you see most entrepreneurs make? And what do you feel like is a better approach?
For me, maybe just being like everybody else and like doing the same tactic that everybody else does. I think if your business is not like everybody else's business, because the main difference is you're a different person, a different human. I think you should market the way you want to market, not the way you think is gonna work, because sometimes you'll be surprised if you think, okay, this way is gonna work, and then you change it up to something that's like more of you, then it may work out for you. You just never know.
I agree. I'm all about being exclusive. This is something that it's not cookie cutter. At the end of the day, you have to really find what works for you. And this is a conversation I always have. A lot of business owners may come in and may see us do a billboard campaign for another brand, but they may not be there yet. So sometimes you want to sit them down. I mean, one of our first questions is, who is your target audience? And if you don't know, let's figure that out first, so we can figure out exactly, what can we do to really touch that target audience. Even with the branding, even with the merchandise, you might not want to do T-shirts. You might want to do trucker hats. You might want to do, scullies. You might want to do hoodies. Depending on who is your target audience. So that's super important.
Yeah.
So real quick, I really want to touch on business planning. This is something that I stress, and I stress. You really can't, stress enough how
Yeah.
important, planning out what it is that you're going to do. How often do you think entrepreneurs should revisit their business plan, and what's the biggest red flag when it's time to update?
I would say on, especially in the beginning, on a month to month base, you kind of see what works, what doesn't work. And that's kind of what I did for me from month one to month two. I mean, month two now. So it's like just seeing what worked, what doesn't, which platforms did work, which platforms didn't, which marketing strategy did work, which didn't. Just kind of taking it for kind of what it is. For me, LinkedIn has been working because I just got a client from LinkedIn. So it's just all about that. And also, I just want to just grow more and just like it. So it's just like doing the same thing over and over again. It's called what? Insanity. Expecting different results, right? So for me, if I change it in month two, month three, month four, month five, month six, it's not to say like stop reaching out to people on LinkedIn, because maybe you get one out of 100. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to do that, because that's just me putting myself out there and kind of planting that seed for it to grow. For me, it's not even, my services may not be needed right now for a lot of people that I connect with. But for me right now, it's about planting the seed, because you never know. Like, I can plant the seed now and I see the fruit of my labor next year. Who knows? Or in 2 years, 3 years. I think that's the mindset that I have for my business. It's not to say I'm gonna have like the people I'm emailing, connecting with, it's not like they need executive assistants now, even if they do, but some may not, and that's okay. I'm here to plant the seed. Just know I'm out there in the world.
I love it. I think planting the seed is super important, and it's just like planting a real seed. Some seeds grow faster than others. Like you said, you might have a client where and I've had this actually happen to me personally. I'm a real testimonial of this where you might plant that seed and then literally a year or two. I've had even 2 years later, somebody might come back around and be like, "Hey man, I remember you guys was doing X, Y, and Z. Are you still doing that? Are you still offering it?" And sometimes those be the best ones. Like some of our members, they didn't, just become a member off that. Sometimes you have to kind of sit back, do your market research, which is super, super important. Figure out what works for you. Because sometimes, that just like I was speaking about the billboard campaigns, that might not be a service that you need right off that. You might not need to advertise and marketing. You might just be in the planning stage still. You might still be in the market research stage still. You might still be in, figuring out your why, which is super important. And it's a soup, and it's good. So you don't, when you rush into things, you'll waste a lot of money. Trust, take it from somebody who's done that, been there, done that. You really want to, sit back and figure out this is going to be the best thing for you. So I love that point. I love that you hit that right on the head.
Yeah.
So let's talk about something. Let's go into customer experience. This is something that a lot of people sometimes we sleep on. Our customer experience. We sleep on our sales experience. So what's one small customer experience tweak that leaves a lasting impression for you?
By customer experience, do you mean just like with my clients? Like, well, actually, yeah, I could talk about my client that I have now. I'm doing some marketing. I was doing some marketing for him, and he actually invested in me to get my travel, to get my travel, to literally become a travel agent. I think it's just the sometimes people believe in you because of the work that you do for them. Also, can take you to another level as well, and that's like the biggest thank you can get, right? Is that somebody refers you to another person or they actually invest in you in something. So I would say that's definitely the yearly positive. Connecting with him, working for him to market for him that to invest in me to become a travel agent, which now I add that into my business model, full circle.
I love that. I love that. I think it's a wheel. Everything goes full circle. Especially if you're doing a good job. These things are gonna just naturally happen. You're giving it your all, and I think it's super important for us to give it your all. And really put your clients on a high pedestal, so you can really have an imprint on it. And once you have that imprint, they gonna naturally refer you. They're gonna naturally want to bless you. They're gonna naturally want to go up and beyond for you, just like you go up and beyond for them. So we're a firm believer on that. If, you can actually talk to any one of our members. We're always figuring out new ways to add more value. Even if they stick to just their same membership tier, we want to figure out how can we add more value every single month. Like this year, we just revamped their outlines. We just did a whole revamp to pretty much make it easier on them, make it easier to manage their projects and keep up with their production, keep up with what we have going on, because that's super important for us to do is keep up with your with your progress at the end. Because as entrepreneurs, we get so busy. It might sometimes we get to the point where we feel like we ain't doing nothing, right? But
Right,
the whole
right,
time we're actually doing a lot and we're
right.
accomplishing a lot. But sometimes those wins are small wins, but those are wins that count. So we want to make sure that we keep progress. So
100%.
that's super important. So I love it. I love it. So let's move on. And this is one of our hottest topics. And this is one of the main reasons why we put out business, our latest ebook, Business Credit Ain't Scary. Um, I want to talk about funding and financial growth. Like, what funding opportunities do small business owners often overlook, especially in the underserved communities?
Mm. So for me, I think because I'm an independent, I don't know if there's a business for like, I think my startup is not as much as a person who is opening up a brick and mortar, right? For like, you would need this amount of substantial money. For me, my costs are a little bit lower because I'm paying for maybe services like LastPass, which is a place where they can share all their passwords. So I can go in their email, I can do this, I could do like I can enter all their passwords, their accounts without them sharing their password with me. So that's like one of the platforms that I use. But it's just a bunch of like kind of systems that I use. So for me, my cost is not going to be tens of thousands of dollars. So for me, I don't even apply to it because I save that for the people who actually need it, right? If I was having a business where I would need a loan, for instance, I always struggle how to say this term, Airbnb, I think that's what it's called, right?
Airbnb.
I struggle with that one so much. So if you're getting that, then of course you need substantial amount of money because you don't want to dig into your pocket. You might not even have it, right? You're trying to make that money back or more plus more. But for my business, it is a little bit smaller. Obviously with the travel agent, of course I have fees and stuff like that for my business, so it's definitely, I am coming out of pocket, but not tens of thousands of dollars out of pocket. So for me right now, that's not, I'll save that for the people who need it because I'm big on if I don't need a service or I don't need like if I don't need this like that, then I'm like, give it to the next person. I don't even want to apply for it. That's just how I look at it.
I agree. I agree. I think most of us start off, bootstrapping. That's what I like. That's what we our old heads like to call it. That's
Mhm.
old heads. I've been an entrepreneur for about 17 years now. So I think we all start off bootstrapping, using our own money. Investing. Using us keeping our 9 to 5, investing in that. But lately we've really been talking about unconventional funding. You know, really teaching more entrepreneurs about lines of credit. The difference between good and bad debt. Because I think most of us grow up with only knowing about bad debt, right? So it scares us, and me included. I didn't get a credit card until I was 30. You know, so I really stayed away from that because all I knew was bad debt. And once I started to really bring more financial advisors in, and just expanding my knowledge about financial literacy, I think it really put us in a position to really kind of explore other options. As far as lines of credit, grant is another one of them. Even though it's super hard right now, it's really not a lot of grants. You kind of got to go digging, but it's still some out there. Still find organizations out there that will help you guys. Getting the community involved, crowdfunding. Getting angel investors is some of the things that we like to touch on as well. Not just going to a bank, because sometimes banks don't, invest in this. Sometimes you have to, they create so many roadblocks where, at the end of the day, they don't want to give us the money. So I always like to touch on that because you never know. There might be somebody else out there who may be starting a business or have started a business, but they really don't have or know of too many options to go. And at the end of the day, that's one of the number one problems when it comes to small business owners, capital. So we love to touch on that. I like to call it the big three, right?
Yeah.
And if you know me, if y'all know me, I talk about the big three all the time, which is capital, information, and having an actual team that can actually implement these things. So it's super important, and those are the big three that we like to touch on. So I love that. I love that. So real quick, I want to talk about tech and automation, right? Because we're in a world right now where AI is expanding fast and rapidly, right? What simple automation tool has saved you the most time or helped you scale your business?
I would say ChatGPT. I pay for the service that's like pro, something like that, the pro service. I think that helps me. It doesn't like, I love AI, but it should never replace humans. And don't trust AI to catch all your spellings and grammars and whatnot. I don't trust AI like that. I get like, I do my own work and then I maybe have AI proofread it for me. And then even when they proofread it for me, I pretty much still read over it just so it's accurate. Like I was just speaking to one of my siblings the other day, and she was like, "I put this through AI, and look at the amount of spelling errors." I said, "Girl, you gotta go ahead and like don't trust AI. AI is like a robot. Like I'm sorry, but humans are smarter than robots, and I'm gonna be on that hill, and I'm gonna stay there, 100%."
I agree. I agree. I talk about this all the time, right? AI is definitely taking on. I'm definitely pro AI, right?
Yeah.
However, I feel like it is going to replace a lot of jobs within human, as far as customer service. A lot of these fast food places is going to replace them. But at the end of the day, we're still humans. It's still going to also replenish and start and create new jobs and new positions for us as well. Because
Yes, exactly.
at the end of the day, it's nothing like the passion that we have. Right? It's nothing like
That human connection.
that
Yeah.
emotional connection that we can create. So for people that's in the maybe in the motivational speaking realm or the influencer realm or the consulting realm, it's never going to replace that because we still need to connect with people at the end of
Or
the day.
doctors, because AI ain't going to give you a surgery.
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah. So I think we're still in the realm that we're pretty safe as humans, but I think we still need to you know, uh, protect ourselves by learning it, right? We have to learn this thing in and out, and we have to make it the norm for us to learn these things. And this is one of the reasons why, we're kicking off our STEAM initiative as well, which we're going to be talking about AI a lot and, teaching the youth how to code, how to, teaching them about these AI language models, different things like that, because about time they're old enough, we still need somebody to know how to troubleshoot, so AI don't drop no bombs on us, right? So I
Right.
think it's super important, especially if you're a business owner. It's all about working smarter, not harder. I think AI is the best thing for entrepreneurship since the internet, since social media came around. So if you're in business, I always, I'm a big advocate. Figure out different ways and different AI tools to incorporate in your company. And I promise you, it's going to be a game changer. Just in this last 2 years, I can't lie, I've replaced a few humans with some robots, but but it's definitely been a game changer. But as far as our mentors, our advisors, we still need humans for those, because we still need those people to connect with our members. As far as our consultants, we still need to connect on a real basis, because at the end of the day, some people just don't trust robots, right? A lot of people don't want to talk to a robot on customer service. I'm one of those people. I'm always pressing zero.
Representative.
Representative immediately. So on those certain aspects, I think it's pros and cons to everything, and let's weigh both of them, right? I think we need to get out here, and I have a lot of discussions with a lot of different entrepreneurs and a lot of different individuals that's terrified of AI, because they feel like it's going to wipe us out, it's going to take a lot of jobs, different things like that. But instead of being terrified, let's prepare ourselves, right? Once we prepare, we have nothing to worry about. And at the end of the day, I think it's all about using it. I think any tool can be used for good and bad. Just like just like a firearm. That can be used for good or bad. It can be used to protect your family, but it can also be used to commit a crime. So I think we have to use and look at AI like that, where it's all about what are you using it for? How are you using it to help the community? Like I just we have a plan, we have a full outline on basically I created a idea based around sustainable living, to basically have AI operated farms. um, I work with a lot of farmers, within the community, especially in Georgia, where it's very needed. They need help. They don't. It's hard for us to get volunteers. People don't want to do that hard work no more. People don't want to get out
Yeah.
there get their hands dirty for the most part. So, I think
Yeah.
it's certain areas where it's really going to help us. I have some partners who work with 3D printing, different things like that. So, hey, as innovators, as creators, as human beings, I think it's really going to take us to a new level if we operate and if we prepare ourselves and utilize it in the correct way. So, hey, I'm on both. I'm on both. I'm on both sides at the end of the day. So I love it. I love it. So real quick, you know, let's talk about leadership and team building. This is one of this is a big one when it comes to our modules because it's all about that mindset, right? How do you know when it's time to hire or delegate, and who should be your first key hire?
Mm. So for me, I'm a standalone business. So right now, I don't have staff, and I don't presume to have staff because it's a standalone business. It's literally just one individual. But you never know. The I could grow in a way that's like I can't take on all the clients that need my help. So then maybe I will not hire somebody, but just reach out to other executive assistants and kind of give them the clientele if I know their work ethic. So I don't think I will be hiring anyone per se because it's a standalone business. If
No,
that makes sense.
I definitely agree. I definitely,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Um,
Yeah.
but what would be, you know, what will really put you in a position to where you would have to delegate or bring someone, like you said, that you trust on board or kind of shift over some a workload to a partner of yours? What do you feel like would really have to happen for you to hit that ceiling?
Yeah, that's a very good question. But I think if it's attached to my business name, the only person who I would feel comfortable working attached to my name is me because I'm not going to say, okay, I have this person under me as an executive assistant and they are representing my business because it's a standalone business. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take other referrals, give them other referrals because I want everybody to eat 100%. So if I cannot, if I have a lot of clientele, that's a blessing for me to reach that point one day where I can, be like, okay, the bandwidth, I don't have the bandwidth to do so to add more clients, but let me go ahead and search and investigate some very good EAs that can not represent my name because the only person I want representing me is me. Sorry, but so maybe I can make a suggestion so I can help another EA grow because I just want other people to grow, sometimes even more than me. But like, I just want people to grow for sure.
I'm definitely one of those people for sure. We do a lot of referrals, a lot of passing on different clients, and I'm a firm believer. If I can't do something,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna commit to it. I'm gonna refer you to somebody that can, that I know that can handle the job and handle the workload. And I think that's where the trust come at, and the integrity come back into place. And we need we need that. We need more people like yourself that has enough integrity that can be able to stand on that.
It's
So I
not
love
all
it.
about money. It's like, oh no, like I'm not going to turn this one down because it's more money in my pocket. But if you cannot give all your clients 100% of yourself and you're just doing it for the money, then it's like you might as well be a corporate company. You know, you might
That
as well do that. But for me, I want to connect with my clients. I want to have a good relationship with all my clients. And I want to be able to have enough bandwidth to complete each different client's task without me just adding on more, adding on more. That's unethical, in my opinion. I just want to ensure that I succeed. I'm sorry. Can you still hear me? I'm getting a call.
mhm, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Really
Hey,
quiet.
if you want something done, you got to do it yourself. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I got one more question. Well, I got two more questions for you, but this is
Okay.
pretty much gonna touch on wrap up on our modules, right? Because
Yeah.
most all of our questions that I ask are touching on a module that we actually that we're actually working on with our members and different things like that. I want to talk about mindset and motivation, which is super big, and really I'm actually contemplating on making this module 1, right? But what mindset shift has had the biggest impact on your growth, and how did you keep yourself motivated when things got harder?
I swear, nobody will prepare you for rejection therapy than to be a business owner. The amount of no's you're gonna get is like, you don't ever have to do any other form of rejection therapy, then start your own business. The rejection therapy is gonna be therapying. So for me, I say it's just like, don't, first of all, don't take anything personal. I don't take any notes personal. I don't take anybody not responding to my message personal, because my business is personal, because I like, my clients are gonna be like family to me, but I still obviously want to have those boundaries set in place and things like that. But I'm just close with all my clients. I have a very good relationship, personal relationship with them. But for me, it's just like, in the marketing stages of it, you don't take anything personal. Don't ever take anything personal. A person doesn't respond to your message. A person kind of messages you and say, "Hey, stop messaging me." Don't take anything personal. This is a business. This is a rejection therapy. You take that no. You take that no even more powerful than a yes sometimes. Take it to the chin, take it to the chest. It's fine. Move along. Keep going. If you kind of want to give up in business and it's like so early on, it's like, don't do that, please. Like, no.
No,
No,
most
just keep going and motivate yourself. For me, I don't just get motivated by the yeses. Sometimes the no's is also a motivation, because it's like, at least they saw the message. I will look at the positive in every single situation possible. I'm definitely one of those, the cup is half full than half empty type of person. So I think that's, with that, I think that kind of momentum will get me far, hopefully. Yeah.
I think it will. I think you have to have that mentality. This is something that I had to learn myself early on. I used to take everything personal. Hey, you didn't share this flyer. You didn't share, this, and then I had to get, I got to the point where, I was getting busy. I was actually, doing things. I was actually overseeing and missing other people's flyers and, putting in position where I just didn't see it clearly. I just didn't see it. So I had to learn that, personally, where look, you can't take everything personal. And sometimes people just don't know. Sometimes people just don't do it on purpose as well. It's just life be lifing, right? Life be lifing for all of us. So,
100%.
that's definitely something that we had to learn. We're big on mindset. That's one of the things that we supply our members with as well, as far as mindset, audio books, and different things like that. Because you have to have a certain mindset to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy. I know we have social media. Everybody make it look so easy and glamorous on social media. It's not, right? But the end goal is glamorous. Generational wealth, building something for yourself and being in control of your destiny is super glamorous. But sometimes the progress and sometimes the process is hectic. But I'm big on you have to learn to love the process, right? You have to
Yeah.
learn, the good, to love the good, and take the good with the bad at the end of the day. And hey, that's what an entrepreneur does. That's what a mogul does, right? So real quick, for our upcoming moguls, for somebody that's still building, what advice would you give them?
I mean, I'm literally still building. Like, like I don't have a client that's like long term. Right now, I'm doing small projects and stuff like that. I love my clients so much, but like, it's smaller projects and whatnot. So for me, I'm giving advice that, like, I'm new to this as well. I haven't hit a big profit, and that's 100% okay. You just have to be eager, and you have to keep going, and you have to put yourself out there, and you 100% cannot give up. There's going to be sometimes months that you don't hear back from nobody, and that's okay. I always think in my mind, and I don't care if this is delusional or not, I think the seeds that I'm planting now might come back to me 2 years from now. I don't know. But I'm not going to give up ever. And I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to keep pushing until I get to a place where I'm like, hey, like, my I don't have the bandwidth to do that right now, so I can help another EA. For me, it's not just about me, it's about helping other people as well. That's like the most important thing for me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You got to keep pushing. And you said something, you talked about being delusional. They say you have to be delusional a little bit to be an entrepreneur, right?
The
So
Lulu for the Lulu.
hey, you have to,
Yeah.
right? You have to, because sometimes stuff just don't add up sometimes, and you just have to believe in
Yeah.
yourself, even when everything is looking down, even when everything is looking bad. Trust me, I've had my times. I was an entrepreneur before it became a trend. Right? Back when
Yes.
my family members was looking at me crazy, mother was looking at me crazy. Everybody, right? So definitely take it from me. It's super important that have tough skin and keep on pushing, even when you're losing, right? Even when you're perceiving that you're losing, because sometimes a loss is not a real loss. Sometimes a loss could be a long term win. So I love that. I love that. I appreciate you, Queen, for sure. Real quick, let the people know where they can find you, and then give the mob a quick shout out.
Of course, you guys can find me at LinkedIn, and it is my name that is on the screen. That's Markabo, last name Ibrahim. So that's on LinkedIn. In my LinkedIn, you'll definitely find the whole thing. You'll find my email. Um, and in that email, if you're interested, or just connect with me, add me. I'm always down to connect with other people and help them grow their LinkedIn. I just actually grew my LinkedIn about three less than 2 months ago. I was at 40 connections, and now I'm almost hitting 500. I'm like two people away. So for me, I also want to help other people grow. If you have a low LinkedIn, please add me. I'm going to connect with you back, and then you look at my connections and add people that you want to add, and that's how you grow the momentum. So I'm looking forward to connecting with everybody. And I just want to say a big shout out to Mob, the Mob family. Thank you guys so much for having me. And I think what you guys are doing is 100% not only helpful for entrepreneurs like myself, but just for the community. And just, it's really meaningful work that you guys are doing. So I really appreciate it. And I cannot wait for you guys to, put my post together so then I can share it on LinkedIn and then shout you guys out.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what it's all about. We're here to connect, motivate, and teach at the end of the day. We all got something to learn from each other. It don't matter what level you're on. It don't matter what you're doing in your life. It don't matter what background you come from. We all can actually learn from each other. And we all got something to offer, right? We just got to dig deeper within ourselves and figure it out. So I appreciate you, Queen, for just hopping on and sharing the gems that you did share and just connecting with us at the end of the day. Hey, if you're still tapped in with us, you know what time it is. You know what I love to do. You know I love to leave you guys with a quick assignment. It is the first month of the year, you guys. So I want to touch on module 1, right? I want you guys to do a why audit. I want you guys to real quick, I want you guys to take out the time, if you haven't already, right? I want you guys to take out the time to write a 1-page founder manifesto. I want you guys to detail exactly why you're starting your venture. I want you to jot down the core values that will guide your decisions and what success looks like for you beyond just money, right? I want you to jot down these things and feel free to share them with us, you guys. Again, these assignments are not for us at the end of the day. This is for you. So, this is something that you guys should already be doing. Hey, we just here to be your accountability partners, you guys. So, hey, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Until next time, my family, I'll see you later. Let's do it.